Welcome everyone, my name is Jeffrey, and in this video we will be talking about chapter 18 of the book Jose Rizal, Life, Works and Writings of a Genius, Writer, Scientist, and a National Hero. This chapter is entitled Biarritz Vacation and Romance with Nelly Boustead, 1891. Before we dive into the chapter, let's first have the introduction. In need of a respite from the political tensions in Paris, Rizal took a vacation to Biarritz, where he found the peace necessary to focus on his intellectual pursuits. This scenic town not only provided a relaxation, but also a conducive environment for his writing and his reflections. So, while staying in Biarritz, Jose Rizal found both personal reflection and creative inspiration amidst his emotional trials. Rizal, having lost Leonor Rivera, entertained the thoughts of courting other ladies. The scenic beauty of the place offered him a respite from his political struggles and a heartache from his personal life. A guest of the Boustead family at their residence in the resort city of Biarritz, he had befriended the two pretty daughters of his host, Eduardo Boustead. In Biarritz, he had a serious romance with Nelly Boustead and finished the last chapter of his second novel, El Filibusterismo, with the Bousteds in Biarritz. The 1 month vacation in Biarritz worked wonders for Rizal. His sorrowing heart began to sing once more with joy, and his health improved with remarkable swiftness. From Biarritz, he wrote Mariano Ponce on February 11, 1891, and he said, I have put on much weight since I arrived here. My cheeks are no longer shrunken as before, for the reason that I go to bed early and I have no cares. So, Rizal's stay with the Boustead family in Biarritz marked a significant period characterized by both personal hospitality and complex emotional dynamics. The Bousted's warmth and welcoming nature provided a familial atmosphere that contrasted sharply with his ongoing estrangement from his own family due to his political activities. This period also highlighted the shifting dynamics in his relationship with Nelly Boustead, with whom he experienced a brief romance. This photo shows Rizal's European experience as a complete hanging out in bistros and cafes, sharing beer at country inns and dressing for elegant balls, masked or otherwise. So in this picture, we can see Jose Rizal wearing a turban for a party with friends. So we also have Paz Pardo de Tavera, the two daughter of Bousteads, which is Luna and Nelly Boustead, Felix Resurrection Hidalgo, and two unidentified ladies. Romance with Nelly Boustead. Biarritz, with its romantic gardens, delightful villas, and panoramic beauties, is an ideal setting in romance. Rizal, having lost his beloved Leonor, came to entertain considerable affection for Nelly, the prettier and younger daughter of his host. He found her a real Filipina, highly intelligent, vivacious in temperament and morally upright. He wrote to his intimate friends of his love for Nelly, also called Nelly, and his intention to propose marriage to her. Antonio Luna, once brother, and also a frequent visitor of the Bousteds, courted Nelly, but she was deeply infatuated with Rizal. In a party held by Filipinos in Madrid, a drunken Antonio Luna uttered unsavory remarks with Nelly Boustead. This prompted Rizal to challenge Luna into a duel. Fortunately, Luna apologized to Rizal, thus averting tragedy for the compatriots. So, Rizal's personal life was as complex and passionate as his political endeavors. Despite his friend Antonio Luna's previous engagement to Nelly Boustead, Luna encouraged Rizal to court her. Their relationship, although deep, was marred by religious differences and opposition from Nelly's mother, leading to its eventual end. So, despite their mutual affection, the demand that Rizal convert to Protestantism, coupled with Nelly's mother's disapproval, posed insurmountable obstacles. This experience left a profound impact on Rizal, reinforcing his convictions about personal and national identity, which he wove into his broader reformist ideology. El filibusterismo finished in Biarritz. Frustrated in romance, Rizal found consolation in writing. While wooing Nelly and enjoying so many magnificent nights with her, he kept working on his second novel, which he began to write in Calamba in 1887. On March 29, 1891, the eve of his departure from Biarritz to Paris, he finished the manuscript of El Filibusterismo. In Biarritz, Rizal completed El Filibusterismo, one of his famous literary work that encapsulated his hopes and despair for the Filipino people. The novel's completion under the skies of Biarritz, while also nursing a broken heart, symbolized his dedication to his homeland struggle over his personal happiness. The manuscript's completion was a testament to his ability to transform a personal adversity into a creative and political statement. To Paris and back to Brussels, Rizal bade farewell to the hospitable and friendly Bousteads on March 30, 1891, and proceeded to Paris by train. He stayed at the home of his friend, Valentin Ventura, on a four-way de Citadum. From Paris, he wrote to his friend Jose Maria Basa in Hong Kong on April 4, expressing his desire to go to that British colony and practice ophthalmology in order to earn his living. By the middle of April 1891, Rizal was back in Brussels, where he was happily received by Marie and Suzanne Jacobi. So after finishing his manuscript, Rizal traveled from Biarritz to Paris and then back to Brussels. This journey marked a transitional phase in his life, shifting from literary achievements back to his medical practice and political advocacies. In Brussels, he reconnected with old friends and continued his involvement in the propaganda movement, albeit in a more subdued capacity due to increasing political tensions and personal disillusionment. Retirement from the propaganda movement. Since abdicating his leadership in Madrid in January 1891, owing to the intrigues of his jealous compatriots, Rizal retired from the propaganda movement or reform crusade. He desired to publish his second novel to practice his medical profession, and later, when he became financially independent, he expected to make a more vigorous campaign for his country's redemption. So from Brussels on May 1, 1891, he notified the propaganda authorities in Manila to cancel his monthly allowance and devote the money to some better cause, such as education of a young Filipino student in Europe. Disillusioned by the internal conflicts and intrigue with the propaganda movement, Rizal decided to retire from active participation. This decision underscored his frustration with the movement's direction and his desire to focus on more direct contributions through his medical practice and writings. His retirement was also a strategic retreat, allowing him to conserve resources and prepare for future endeavors that could potentially have a greater impact on his homeland. Rizal stopped writing for La Solidaridad. Rizal ceased writing articles for La Solidaridad. Many of his friends in Spain urged him to continue writing for the patriotic periodical because his articles always attracted considerable attention in European countries. So, why did Rizal decided to halt his writing for La Solidaridad? On August 7, 1891, Marcelo H. del Pilar wrote to Rizal, begging forgiveness for any resentment and requesting Rizal to resume writing for La Solidaridad. Rizal responded and said that he stopped writing for La Solidaridad for these reasons. He needed time to work on his book. So Rizal needed time to concentrate on finishing and revising his second novel, El Filibusterismo, as this was a crucial part of his campaign for reforms in the Philippines, and he believed that dedicating his time to it was more important at that moment. He also wanted other Filipinos to work. So he wanted to encourage other Filipinos to take a more active role in the reform movement. By stepping back, he hoped that others would step up and contribute, fostering a broader and more diverse space of intellectual activism within the movement. And lastly, he said that he considered it very important to the party that there will be unity in the work. So Rizal considered it important for the reform movement to have a unified approach, with Mariano Ponce and Marcelo H. Del Pilar already leading the movement. He felt it was better to let them continue without his interference. This strategy aimed to consolidate leadership and avoid any potential conflicts or divided loyalties. So, by not meddling in the policy and direction set by Del Pilar, Rizal believed that it would enhance Del Pilar's prestige and leadership within the movement. Strong and respected leaders were essential for the success of the propaganda movement, and Rizal's withdrawal was intended to strengthen this dynamic. Rizal mentioned to Del Pilar that there were no personal resentments or disagreements influencing his decision. Instead, his reasons were purely strategic, aimed at ensuring the effectiveness and cohesion of the reformist efforts. Revising the Fili for publication. In Brussels, Rizal worked day after day revising the finished manuscript of El Filibusterismo and readied it for printing. On May 30, 1891, the revision was mostly completed. On the letter, he told Jose Maria Basa that his book is now ready on press, and the first 20 chapters are already corrected and can be printed. On June 13, 1891, Rizal informed Basa that his negotiation with the printing firm. So the final stages of preparation of El Filibusterismo for publication involved meticulous revisions and negotiations with printers, reflecting Rizal's commitment to quality and his awareness of the novel's potential impact. His correspondence during this time reveals a man deeply engaged in the logistical aspects of publication while simultaneously preparing for future political actions. The effort to publish El Filibusterismo was not merely a literary endeavor, but a calculated step in his continuing campaign against Spanish colonial rule. Jose Rizal's journey through Europe was not just a tale of personal growth, but a series of deliberate strategic decisions aimed at the betterment of his homeland. His life and works remain a testament to the power of intellectual resistance against oppression, inspiring generations across the globe. In conclusion, Jose Rizal was not just a man of letters, but a man of action and conviction. His life and works played a crucial role in shaping the Filipino consciousness necessary for the eventual fight for the independence. His legacy endures, reminding us of the power of words and the unyielding spirit of a true hero.